Hey everyone, welcome to the first video of our landscape photography series. Today we're diving into the basics of landscape photography. I know there's a lot out there, and what's going to make me a little bit more different is we're going to get more technical, okay? I'm working on a bachelor's in photography and videography, where I'll eventually pursue my master's. And there's a lot of stuff that a lot of people that I've seen and that I've learned from, there's some stuff that they don't quite explain. For example, in photography, you're going to hear later down the road, we'll talk about it more in depth, but stops and stuff like that. Well, how much is a stop of light, right? Do you know how much light is in one stop, right? And granted, the answer is 2 times the amount of light is equivalent to one stop. And this is important, right? Yes, it is very technical, but this is what is going to compose your photo. And understanding these keys will help, especially as we go diving into the basics of landscape photography. And the best part is you can start with what you already have. First off, gear. Don't worry about if you don't have a fancy camera. All you need is your smartphone, or a basic DSLR is all you need to start capturing beautiful landscape. The key here is to focus on the composition and the lighting and not the gear itself. As we progress through this series, we are going to talk about gear and settings and stuff like that on how to maximize what it is you're using and how to get the most out of your camera. So speaking of composition, here's one simple tip that you can instantly improve your landscape photos today. You can do it to now. You can go out, shoot amazing photos, and this one little technique is going to change it. And that is going to be the rule of thirds. Imagine your image is divided into 9 equal parts by 2 horizontal and 2 vertical lines. Think of it like the tic-tac-toe board when you're drawing, right? You draw your lines. That is what you're envisioning in your head and seeing through your camera. By placing important elements along these lines or their intersections, you'll create more of a balance and interesting photos, okay? And that's one simple way you can do that. For example, when you're shooting a landscape, try putting the horizon along the top or the bottom thirds instead of dead center. This small change makes a huge difference in how your image is going to feel. And lastly, the most important thing is lighting. The best time for landscape photography is during golden hour, blue hour, and stuff like that. Right after sunrise, right after sunset. The light is softer, warmer, and it creates beautiful shadows, beautiful highlights on the landscape, and trust me, your photos will look stunning. One other thing about lighting is if you have a cloudy cover, for example, let's say you're up in Washington, up in the Pacific Northwest, it rains a lot, right? So many beautiful shooting opportunities because, and we'll talk about this later down the road, clouds create what is called diffused light, which is the same thing as sunrise and sunset. It's a beautiful light. So, there you have it. A quick intro to the basics of landscape photography. You want to focus on composition, pay attention to the light, and don't stress about having the best gear right now. In the next video, we will dive deeper into camera settings for landscape shots. So, see you then.